Hey, Dirty, baby, I got your money.
Don't you worry.
What's What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Don't Listen to Me podcast. I am one of your hosts, Lo, and I'm joined by my blood sister.
Nisa, that's me. Hey, y'all.
Thank you all for joining us for another episode. I am drinking a little wine today. My good sis is having a little sober life with her tea.
A little tea and a little prayer. Get you a
Y'all,
long way.
hey, make sure y'all drop a comment and let us know what y'all sipping on while you're watching this episode.
Yes.
I'm gonna jump right into today's topic. This had been like a thing that was going on in the socials. It's a little old news now, but and I don't even know if it really ever made like breaking news or
Right.
viral. It was just a thing that like I kind of noticed because I had just started kind of following this person's podcast. So B Simone and Megan Ashley had a podcast, and I can't remember what it was called. So they had a podcast together. They talked about how they had been best friends since like elementary school.
Oh, I didn't know the backstory.
Yes, they said they met each other in like elementary school, were best friends. I believe Megan Ashley went through like a divorce, and I believe they talked about how they've been there for each other. I feel like on one of the episodes, please don't listen to me. I am really just going off of
Yeah.
hearsay because I started following some of their episodes towards the end
Yeah.
of when they decided to end the podcast. But I believe that they at one point they did talk about B Simone having an abortion and how Megan actually was there for her through that process, and they're not like just
Regular
friends.
Yeah.
They have been, from what it seems like, been with each other through the thick of it, through some really challenging moments as people. And then out of nowhere, it seemed their chemistry started becoming a little off on the episodes, and I saw
Really?
people in the comments saying, "Oh, it's funny how they're acting like how you can tell the tension, but they're not gonna address what's going on between them two." And then one week, it was just like the podcast was completely over. They weren't making any more episodes. And Ashley launched her own separate brand on YouTube that I saw. And B Simone, I believe, she's always had her own.
Always doing something. I'm coming right back. I'm listening.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, so it kind of made me start thinking like, what are the risks associated with going into businesses with like a loved one, like people, family, or a very close friend, or even like a spouse. You know, I feel like I hear a lot of times like different family drama or that comes out. No, you're good. That comes out from families like going into business together. Like I want to say that wasn't that one. It was one like restaurant that was super popular, like Sweetie something,
Yeah.
and she was letting her son run it, and it was kind of a mess. And even like I used to love this restaurant, Gladys Knight's Chicken
I
and
knew you. I was hoping you was gonna say Gladys Knights, because baby, that's the top one on my mind.
Girl, I love that
I
restaurant.
was in college, baby.
Same.
My best friend worked there.
That's right. She sure did.
Love that place.
She sure did. And something happened there. I think the rumor was at least that something happened. Family mishandling it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I really hope that at least as individuals, they are okay and moving on healthy and happy and whole.
Right.
Neither one of them, to my knowledge, have addressed the specifics on what happened. There was some audio that leaked. I believe they had a Patreon and they were kind of talking sort of through some of the things, and someone must have leaked it to the public, the general public. And it seemed like what they were saying was Megan was like, well, I kind of want to work through this, work on it. And it seemed like B Simone was more like, I just want to do the business. We can do the business, but as far as anything more, friend wise, I'm not open to that. And I guess they couldn't get on the same page. It seemed like Megan may have wanted to try to still work on repairing the friendship. Um, and maybe
Mm.
next thing you know, they went their separate ways professionally. Hopefully they can reconcile, or even if they don't reconcile, forgive each other and move on with their lives. But what do you think about that? And maybe like also
Yeah.
you think about going into business with family, close friends, all of that.
That's interesting because actually, I did not know all of those details. I do know that there have been a few of the episodes that I've seen, and definitely clips of different episodes that have kind of like gone viral. And I've really always admired their dynamic. Like it seems like B Simone is like the one that's just like, rah, 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 and she's the fun girl, and then her friend is more. And I don't know this to be true, but she could be a different type of person when all eyes are on her. But she seems like just real level-headed, real like she looks like the mama bear. And even when you're talking about this now, where it was like she was saying, well, let's as adults tend to do, adults, let's work this through. And not to say that whatever be Simone's reasoning for not wanting to work it through and only focus on the business aspect, because we don't know the backstory. But even with you saying the friend was willing to work through it, and B Simone was like, no. I feel like I've always felt like she had, and this is, don't listen to me, and it's absolutely no shade to B Simone, because I really like B Simone. I think she's hilarious, and just the platform she's created has been like phenomenal. But I feel like her friend, I felt like she's always been like the mature one, and just like the one that's like, okay, about the business. Because in my mind, B Simone like, listen, I got a whole bunch of businesses lined up, honey. This is for fun, you know.
Right.
And so but the one thing that I did see, because I really hadn't been following the story, I just knew that something happened and they had decided to go their separate ways. I did see a clip of, what's the young lady's name? I don't know why I can't ever remember her name. Who?
Megan Ashley.
Megan.
Megan.
Megan Ashley. She got two first names. Okay.
I always think that's cute though.
Megan Ashley. I saw her reading a letter, and I didn't really hear. I can't tell you what the full content of the letter was, but basically after I guess they decided to cancel their show, she was reading a letter. It sounded like she was kind of wishing um, B Simone well, and just saying, I wish things could have gone a different way. Don't quote me on this, and don't listen to me, but she did pen some type of letter to say, these are my feelings. I'm hurt that we had to go our separate ways and move on. Um, One of the things that I feel like I've really stood firm on, even because I know that there have been probably between my family and my friends a million gazillion business ideas that we've had. And it's not about the idea, it's about really working it and putting it out there. I told y'all we could have been Keith Lee Randy. Told y'all. We got the social media tag to prove it.
We could have been. Yeah.
We could have been. So, but what I'm saying is, I have always felt like, and this is just me because, dynamics change, people change, different things change. But one of the things that I understand that everybody doesn't have this, so I am grateful. But I also, on another side of that, I don't have a business that is like a multi-million, not yet, business with my family. So I don't know. Maybe I would pray to God that wouldn't change the dynamics. But again, you don't know all of the things that it involves.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always put it in terms of, if I want to start a business and I think that it's going to it's really going to be something that's successful, it's something that I always want to have with my family, because I already know their values. I know, I know that y'all are the ones that I can come to, and I ain't got to sugarcoat it. And I'm gonna be in, big sister mode and eldest mode. Even with my parents, to be like, nah, we don't need to do this, we don't need to do that, we don't need to do that. And then we can be salty about it. But at the end of the day, we have the same common goal. We
Right.
know what we're here for. We know what we're trying to accomplish. We're trying to build a legacy, yada, 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 yada. Whereas with friends, things can change, seasons change, um, goals change. And what happens when it does become a multi-million dollar business, thriving business, and one person doesn't really have the same views anymore? They want to do one thing and the other person wants to do another thing. I think it's easier to, with family, to kind of, especially with our family, because I feel like we can just go for a vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, well, guess what? You're outvoted. We're doing this. Me and one friend, we 50-50 with this thing. We gonna clash and bump heads because we gonna think the other one is wrong and we're right. And so I don't know. I think I have mixed feelings about starting businesses with friends. And I got some really dope friends. But I don't know. I don't want that. I would not want the friendship dynamic to change with the relationships that I have with my great friends, and things to go left, because they absolutely can. Things can be overwhelming. Things can, you don't want to, things not adding up. Anything. I don't, that's not a risk I'm willing to take
Mhm.
as it relates to a friendship. I'm willing to take that risk with family because I know what we stand on
Mhm.
and where we are, but not with a friendship. I don't know. You tell me what I said a lot.
You did, and it was a lot of goodness, child, because I really do feel you on that. I think I feel a similar way. Like when we were talking about this topic, I wasn't sure which way I felt about it, because you think about some families. Like, did you see that Versace movie? That movie about the Versace, and how their stuff just like, girl, they
They
couldn't
don't
get,
even have a legacy anymore.
no. Other people are running
Grieve.
their name. So it's
Yeah.
like certain stories like that are kind of like cautionary tales for me. And I'm like,
Right.
I really do think, family or friend, you really just got to be on the same page.
Period.
You got to really make sure that it's about the business and it's not personal. I think that's why I do feel like, certain family projects, that they looking out for you. They got your back. They have your best interest at heart for the most part. In our family, but you, like, again, like you said, we ain't built no Versace, so I really don't know. I don't know how that could have played out. And you see, like, how people after they pass away, their families be fighting over their
I
estates. People whose legacy are, and I don't even want to say some of the names of people who kids just start get to fighting and don't know how they want to handle their parents' legacy who built this amazing thing, and it's just so unfortunate. So I don't know. I mean, I do feel like there's ways to be successful, like sister T and Tamara.
Yes.
They've had much success and it's been sustainable, and even other families like gospel, some of the gospel greats, see the Winans, a lot of people, even like younger groups like the Walls group, they've been, in this music group together, really being successful. But I do like what you said about family versus friends. And one of the things that I was thinking was, maybe if you start it, you can, I think you can maybe start a business with a person that isn't your friend. Just, we have a we both can contribute well to this business, and then you can become friends. For example, and y'all know I'm a fan of this podcast called Here's the Thing.
Yes.
So the hosts are Kev on stage and Angel
That
that
chick
chick.
angel. Mm-hmm.
So I believe when Kev was going through like a transition, he had another podcast with someone who was his friend.
And they were friends well before they started the podcast.
Yes, and something happened. They didn't have a podcast anymore. I guess like similar to Megan and B Simone. It was like one week they had a podcast, then the next they just didn't. And it was a successful podcast. And then so Kevin went through a transition and he ended up hiring, it seemed like they weren't friends at the time. They had
right.
professional relationship.
Professional
Not
relationship.
they weren't friendly, but
right.
they had a professional relationship. That chick Angel.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, that podcast has become more and more successful. And now they talk about each other like they're friends, family even.
Yeah.
So I think that sometimes that might be a fair approach. Maybe not a friend,
but a business.
But a business associate.
Yes.
You can become friends with. You know what I mean? But I do think that
I love that.
I feel like I've worked with a family member when I was married. I worked with my husband at that time. We did a lot of business ventures. We worked together on a lot of things in the music industry. But I don't think that we ever like started a business from scratch together. But we just worked together, and we had moderate success, not like a lot of money, but success as far as we were doing things consistently together. So I don't think it is always a bad thing for family to work together. I really think that it can work. I really think that you just have to really make sure your family relationship is one where you all can continue to talk, continue to invest in your relationship as a family, establish clear, firm boundaries on when we're business. When we're family, or if you are one of those families that the lines can be blurred and things can bleed in, that's fine. But
have at it.
Just make it work for your family.
Yeah.
So I think it could be successful, but I do think as far as the friend thing goes, that might, like, I agree with you, that might be more tricky. But I do think if you come into business together, it's always an opportunity for you to become friends.
But you know what? I think on any level, we always want to hope and pray that this relationship will never tarnish. We'll never, just disagree so much to where we can't agree to disagree. It's like no turning back. So maybe in that sense, create a clause in your contract. You know what I'm saying? Like, I work with contracts and different vendors all the time, and I'm like always like, well, can we do this? And it never hurts to ask. But create something to where in the unforeseen event that XYZ, or even if it's just something very generic happens, how do we resolve this? Is it, we bring a third party in to whatever the case may be? I don't know. So maybe that's something that people need to be thinking through before they just jump into business saying, oh, it's going to be fine because we've been best friends since forever. We like sisters. Yeah. But guess what? Even sisters fall out.
Yeah.
Even
children and parents fall, like all of these relationships, every day ain't sunshine and rainbows. So you're right. Like, it should be some sort of thing in the clause, or just an agreement with each other that if these issues continue, do we want the business or do we want the friendship? Because if we want we can walk away from the business, maybe not indefinitely, but for a time. It could be like, okay, we're going to give ourselves this amount of months to try to work through our differences, come back at the end of that time. And if we haven't been able to reach a resolution, we'll sell the company, we'll pass it on to this, we'll have a succession plan, and we'll just take our hands off it so that we can save the relationship. Or if it's like, no, the business is more important, then hey, like B Simone said, the business is more, if the business is more important, we can just come to work as co-workers. We don't have to.
But on the flip side, if it's negatively impacting your whole
brand,
Yeah, like if people are in the comments and they can tell that there is the negative energy, like the energy isn't there, you can't fake that. You know what I'm saying?
To a degree. Now, I remember, I do remember a story where Kev on stage he used to have a podcast with his wife called The Love Hour. And he talked about how they went on tour. And he was saying how they would be beefing, they would not be liking each other. And then as soon as they walked out on their stage, they would hold hands. Hey, y'all, what's up?
And kiss babies,
The
shaking
word,
hands and kissing babies.
like Deval and Kadeem, those are other like millennial influence, family black love type influencers. They've talked about how when you got to go to work, this is what we do for a living to earn money. We have to go to work. That don't mean that we're gonna like each other and agree with each other. But when it's lights, cameras, action, this is
And go.
this is what I
And
do
go.
for a living. I'm gonna have to make you believe it. I'm gonna have to put on that show because at the end, and I think there is a difference. At the end of the day, for spouses who love each other and are just
Absolutely.
dating, we can dig in and tap into that. I love you. I don't like you
I
right
don't like you right now, but I love you. Absolutely.
exactly, and then we
Wholeheartedly.
off the stage, ignore each other until we're ready to talk about whatever is going
That was going to be that
on.
wholeheartedly. That's where I am with you on that because I don't like my husband all the time. But guess what? We walk out of this house, baby. You better act like I'm the love of your MF in life
One
forever and a day.
now.
One band, one sound. But I don't know if I can necessarily do that with a friend. And I think I'm going to try to tell this quick story because it's very interesting enough. And we didn't talk about this. You don't know the story. And I was thinking if I should say this, but you guys don't know the characters. And they don't even watch this show. watch the show. Don't listen to me, okay? Characters are protected by this. So we're going to say, okay, friend A and friend B.
Can we give them Can we give them names?
Okay. So
Can
two
we,
females. Two
uh,
females.
Carrie and Sabrina.
Carrie and Sabrina. Carrie and Sabrina. Carrie is married to Philip. You taking this down? Carrie
Okay.
and Philip are together. You got Carrie and Philip? Sabrina and Sebastian. We'll keep it two S's.
Easy.
Carrie, Philip, Sabrina, Ashton, and
Sab-
Sebastian are boyfriend and girlfriend.
but Carrie and Philip are married.
Carrie and Philip are married. Sabrina and Sebastian are newly boyfriend and girlfriend. Sebastian and Philip are best friends.
Okay.
The way this is a real life story that just unfolded in my friendship, in my friend circle group. Philip and Sebastian are best friends since college. So 20 plus years of best friends. They talk more than they talk to more than Philip talks to his wife on a day to day. First person they call in the morning before they go to sleep. Tight. Philip and Carrie hooked Sebastian up with Sabrina.
Okay.
You picking up what I'm putting down? You following?
What you putting down? Yes.
Okay. It's only been a couple of months. Sabrina is really feeling Sebastian. She's like, y'all, this might be the one.
Sabrina and Carrie are best friends.
No. Sabrina and Carrie knew each other through another
He
friend.
just randomly chose Sabrina to hook up with Sebastian.
Yes, because they were two single, attractive people.
Okay. So they were like, "Oh, I know somebody. Gotcha."
And they were all at an event celebrating at one time. And they're like, you know what? Let me introduce you to my friend. So Carrie and Philip introduced, but Philip is really the one that introduced Sebastian to Sabrina.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sabrina and Sebastian been kicking it for a couple of months, going strong. Like, oh, that's my boo thing. Yes. Okay. We all so excited. We go to have brunch last week and we're like, yeah, we got to get all the husbands and the boyfriends together and do a play date. Sebastian and Philip are not talking and are swearing that they will never be friends again. All of a sudden, when now their mutual relationships
have a line.
It made me think of the Be Simone, right? And so we're kind of trying to talk through and like, oh well, you
They're
know, you
both
don't think
at the brunch though.
they're not at the brunch. This is only the females at the brunch.
Oh,
We're talking about getting so we're gonna get the guys together with us the next event. We
then
need to do
Sabrina and Carrie tell y'all.
and then Sabrina and Carrie tell us that these two ninjas done decided they ain't friends no more. Now these is the same two that talk all day long, do everything together, all events. They're even in a I'm telling too much, but y'all don't know these people.
Don't. Oh, okay. You tell it.
They're even in a group chat with other men, but they're not responding to each other like they usually are. So now the other men are picking up the energy and hitting them on the side like,
What's
what's
going
going
on?
on? And now they're telling them, oh no, we not cool no more. We not cool. We not doing this no more. Blah blah blah. So I was like, thinking to myself, well, that's not fun. This is just pettiness. They need
You
to
know
just.
the reason or no?
Then Carrie told us why Philip will not talk to Sebastian anymore. And it was a hard stab, baby.
Can you share or no?
No, I can't share that one. It's a hard jab, and
Oh, it's
it.
rightfully so.
I feel like it. It's like he was saying something hurtful about the guy. His Sebastian was saying something hurtful about Philip's father, who is no longer alive.
No, that's effed up.
And it's already one of those things where Philip is already like there have been a lot of emotions, and he went for a very long time without even talking to his father, and then they got on good terms, and then they didn't have a long time with him after that. And so it was one of those things like you knew better than to go. Now you can't take it that far. Now you can go low, but you can't go down low to the flow, scrub the flow. So I said all that to say, when I was thinking about the B. Simone and the Megan Ashley, the two first names, girl, I was like, it really depends on what was done.
I agree 100%. I agree. And you know what? I would say that I think I'm a fan of B. Simone. I don't. I probably would go like pay for things for her. Most of the content that I consume
Me too.
her,
She's hilarious.
Has been free, but she's funny to me. I think that like if she was like I saw she was doing like a comedy show and it was in Florida, and I was like, oh shoot, if she was in Atlanta, I probably would have tried to go. So I would say that I am a fan of B. Simone. Like I would pay my money to go support her talents. You know what I'm saying? I think she's really good at what she does. And I also do feel like, at the risk of sounding like, oh, her business as, some crazy folks who, say business, anyway, I don't know what I'm trying to say. But what I'm saying is, I feel like we've known more about B. Simone than Megan Ashley. And B. Simone has given us, she's been clear about when she's been wrong. Now, when that stuff came out about her, editors using stuff from another book, from what I recall, she like fessed up to it, like, oh shoot, I ain't know. Now that was crazy.
Really?
So, you know what I mean? And then she took on a journey about how she became a millionaire. And I just feel like she's very authentic, and she turns things when the internet is usually like poking fun at her.
Yes, when she was talking about she don't shower every day.
Yes. She will then turn around and poke fun at herself. She doesn't take herself too seriously to joke about it or to just be like, it is what it is, or I was wrong. So that's why in this instance, I feel like I have more, at least, and I don't know, neither one of these women Who
Yes.
knows? I'm not saying one is right, one is wrong.
Don't listen to her.
I have absolutely no clue, but I'm just saying, like, if I were to, I don't, if I don't feel like it's fair to just throw out everything that Be Simone
Right.
presented and just say, oh, because there's a recording of her saying, I
Exactly.
don't want to work on the friendship. I just want to move forward in business. Then she's automatically wrong. I don't think that's fair to say because
Oh, absolutely not. Because she could have a legit reason.
a legitimate reason. Sometimes people who seem all put together and everything's great, sometimes it's not what it seems. And not to say that it is or it isn't. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I don't want to make a conclusion one way or the other because they are it seems like what they are doing, even if they may not be doing it intentionally, is they're protecting each other.
Protect. Thank you. That was exactly what I was going to end with, to be like, no matter what you think about these two ladies, excuse me, they are still protecting each other. They haven't said, well, she did this and she did that, and I'm going to make you look bad.
Mm-hmm.
No, they have been silent. They
Yep.
ain't said nada. And
Yeah.
I can absolutely get with that. Like,
Absolutely.
well done, Black women. Well done for not tearing each other down and throwing each other under the bus and
Yeah.
putting each other out there. And I hope it continues. But
Same.
ultimately, I hope it's something that they can really, work through. It might just take time.
100. Yeah. I agree. Well said. Well said. Well, that's
We
all.
both throw up our hands.
Y'all let us know what y'all think about mixing business and family and friend dynamics.
Yeah.
If y'all have any more insight on the Be Simone thing, shout out to all of our favorite podcasters. Kev on stage, that chick
Angel.
on stage, Be Simone, Megan Ashley,
Yes.
all of y'all. We love the content that you put out, and
And the platforms you all have created. It's just
yes, very responsible with these platforms. So hats off to you. We're definitely looking at you guys as like a northern star on how to deal with things if stuff do pop off in a positive way. You hear?
It's gonna get there. It's gonna get there.
Exactly.
All right, y'all.
Thank you guys. I am Low. Make sure that you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe, and follow us on the socials. And come back next week. All right.
Yes. And we are peace out. Love y'all. Bye.